Kate and Sasha in the game of life. Come join us, be curious and open your mind. Let's play together to learn and to grow. Look deeper inside and your journey will flow.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode, another Sasha and Ketty conversation.
Yes, welcome to the program, The Game of Life, The Game of Free Will. My name is Kitty.
And I'm Sasha.
And
we're going to have another conversation we were discussing what to actually talk about this week, weren't we? And I think we came up with that we think it'd be a good idea to talk about victim mentality or victim mentality.
Yes, well, in fact, yeah, because to play, let's say that to play the game, there was something needed. And even if we don't like what was needed, because when we look at life, we look at it from a perspective of human being, from the perspective of creating a game, and you are a soul, you create the opposite. So like we explained with the love, the opposite is the fear. With the light, you have the dark, so you can see the differences. One of the biggest things that the soul has with the unconditional love is the responsibility. Feeling responsible for what he does, for what he is, when you are you, and you accept you are responsible for what you do and for what you experience. So what would be the opposite of responsibility?
Yeah.
It's victim.
So
explaining that doesn't say that, oh, it's just like that, because of course we have many layers of victim. You just say victim mentality, for example, but you can be a victim physique or mental, for example, so like you cross the street and someone come with his car and
you're the victim of a road traffic accident. I can probably read. It might be helpful to read the definition actually of a. So I'm going to just read the definition. So first definition is a person harmed by an act or event. So someone who suffers physical, emotional, financial, or social harm as a result of another person's actions, an accident or a crime, or a situation beyond their control, which is what we were just talking about. And the other one is a passive or powerless role. In psychology and personal development, victim can also describe a state of mind or role where a person feels powerless, stuck, or defined by what happened to them, often identifying with suffering or unfairness, which kind of links to what we were talking about in the suffering conversation.
Yes, because that's funny, because one of the synonym words of victim is sufferer also. So it says already what it means. It is that you are in a role where you suffer. Yeah?
Yes.
So if we look at the game of life and we want to come back to unconditional love, and you are suffering, and from the suffering you come back to unconditional love, that is your life experience. Yeah, it means, in fact, that being a victim and coming back from this world to being responsible and to take all for you, and to realize that many things happen for you and not against you. And that would be the biggest thing from the victim role. It's realizing that. Because when you lose something, for example, if you have an accident with your car, then you lose your car, it's total loss. You don't see how it is happening for you.
Yes.
You don't see first, it happened for me. So because you don't see that, you are going first to think, you see, if the other person would have drive good, then I wouldn't have an accident with him. So it's the fault of him, because it didn't happen for you. It happened to you. When it happens to you, you are a victim.
Yes. So, and we all do that all the time. Oh my God, why did this happen to me? Yes, it's our first initial response, isn't it? Usually.
You see, that's exactly.
Well, unless you're playing the game of life and you play it a lot and you realize, then you can quite quickly change the two to it happened for me, and it makes it easier to find the answers.
It makes sense, but it's the most difficult part is seeing that things can happen for you, because they do happen for you. And sometimes we say, oh, I know it happened for me, but then we let go and we continue to keep the victim mentality. So that's when the mentality is building up, because at the beginning you have something happening, an action. It can be mental, physical, doesn't matter, but something is happening. And when it happens, you have the possibility to say, okay, I'm going to look at what are the possibilities for me to continue my life from today to tomorrow, or I'm going to keep on staying and thinking of the past because I'm not able to be the person I was before.
Yes.
So that's where the shift happens. So there is an action, and this action asks you with your free will to make a choice. Am I the victim, or am I taking my responsibility by saying that this happened for me, and then I go and look for the reasons why it will happen for me?
Yeah.
So we can't balance with that, but that's the first choice. Then when we choose to be a victim, which is completely normal, and in fact, even in my book Hidden in Plain Sight, I explain, take the role, because this role you need to embody it, to feel it, and to not wanting it anymore. When you stay in between, for example, someone is reacting like a victim, and you say, but you see that you are reacting like a victim, or you think that he is responsible, so you try to say it in whichever way possible. The person can get completely angry. I'm not a victim. I didn't say that I was a victim, but it's him. But I'm not a victim. It's her. I'm not a victim. And then you think, okay, you don't want to see that, but when you speak about it, you take the victim mentality, and you didn't choose to take the responsibility, even if you didn't do the act. The responsibility about yourself, about your own life, about, do you stop living now because it happened to you? And you continue to look only on the past and to all the things that you lost and that you don't have anymore and that you cannot do and that you cannot experience or whatever? Or do you take the responsibility of your life now and you say, okay, this happened for me because maybe my soul wanted me to learn to accept. Maybe my soul wanted me to let me see something. And it goes even further, in fact, because that we didn't talk yet about, but with the manifestation and the law of attraction, this happened to you because you created it. That's even another part.
Another subject.
We are not going yet. But when you begin to look at this role, it was really important that the victim role would be in the game. So we would have a place, a role that we would embody, and it would be another role than the one of the soul. And with this role that we embody and we take all the information, we create a belief system based on that. And then we don't come out of the victim mentality, but we don't want to give it the name. So it's just always about the over. And then we stay there. And we cannot evolve anymore. And especially, and when we step into it, the only way to come out of it is not consciousness, because consciousness, you are conscious that something happened to you. It's awareness, being aware about what you think that the people did to you and that you don't see that it was for you. The awareness is seeing that you are a soul having a life experience in a body. With this body, you had an experience. This experience, you could choose to say, I am a victim of this experience, or I am the hero of the experience. And depending on which choice you make, then your whole story, your whole life, your whole game is going to develop itself.
Yeah, and I think it's probably one of the hardest things to do, because I think we're so, we grow up with our perception of what the word victim is, and it's such a it is such a dramatic, deep word that that can sound really wounding. So it's once you, and again, this may upset some people, that what we're talking about, or it may trigger, so it's not upset, but trigger some people into into feeling certain emotions and frustrations. But so I think it's one of the biggest things to get your head around. But I know from personal experience and from my journey, I've been there lots, and as I'm sure you have, Ketty, where you just, you put yourself in that mentality, and it's only when you can gradually, it's just little by little, to start seeing it more and more, that it gets easier to do. So we're talking like it's a really easy thing to do, maybe, but we know it's not, and it's only because through our healing journeys that we've managed to look at it from the game of life perspective,
Before, well, I was also a victim. I'm still a victim. I mean, sometimes something is happening to me. First, my knee, for example, that I talk about in the first episode, it happened to me, and I was the victim of the owner of the dog who attacked me, So I was the victim. I am a victim. In this situation, in the action, I am a victim. But that's my response to the action, which keep me in the role of the victim, who takes me in the role of the hero. That's at the moment where there is a shift possible, and it's not always easy to make the shift.
No.
And it becomes even more difficult when we feel shame and guilt and angerness, or whatever, the emotions that are coupled with that. Then it makes it even more difficult. That's the game. The game makes sure. So if you want to play the game, you come. You have a soul which is here, but you forgot everything, and then you go to live with other people who learn you how it is to become a victim. How do you do that? So you learn this from the first day of your life almost. How can you take the victim role? Because it's the game. If you come on Earth and you have someone who learns you directly how to take your responsibility, well, I can tell you, you are already responsible for a really long time, and you don't understand that the other have not. So you are living in a world where you think, I don't understand. It's just normal to be responsible. Why aren't they? So that was my problem. It's just too simple. You take the responsibility, why? So it's really difficult if you are born like this. So in fact, it's better to learn the role of the victim, because when you develop it later, you are not even aware that you develop it, So you have the role, and then you have people telling you that when someone does something to you, he need to say sorry. It is his fault. Yeah, he shouldn't behave like this. It begins around 4 also, where we begin to move with the mind of the children. Because if you look at a child, for example, before 4, he wants to play, so he go out. Before the iPad and all the stuff. But he goes
in the old days.
or in the summer, for example, you go on vacation in the summer, you're on the beach or whatever, and then that child is going to play and he's going to meet another child. You see them, they can play together. Sometimes it happens that they also fight together. But what is happening if nobody, so if no adults come to try to say something, to do something, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they forgot and they play again.
Yeah.
If nothing had happened. Because nothing has happened. It was one personality against the other one, clash, okay, forgot, and we continue. From the moment that child becomes 4, then often what is happening is that the adult is saying, the child come back, yeah, he did this to me. And then we have a reaction. Oh, it's not normal. Oh, he should say sorry. Oh, how do you dare? Oh, you don't go and play with him anymore. yeah, it's not nice, you know, so we judge. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
that's
blah,
not
blah.
kind. That's
Huh?
not kind. You weren't kind, you weren't kind to him. You say sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So
true.
somehow we programmed already the child at that moment to think in a victim mentality.
Yes, we do. My gosh, yeah.
Yeah, we say he did something to you.
Whereas
So
if you just
next
leave and
time,
sort it out, it works.
yeah, because the next time what is happening, the child is coming back. What is he going to do? He's going to
Yeah,
ask for, you need to say sorry because last time you did this to me.
yeah,
That
expecting it.
always, and what do you say?
Expecting, expecting
Exactly.
the other person to do something. Like you setting a standard of
Yeah,
right, you need to say sorry now because that's the right thing to do. Yeah.
yeah. And that overshine. So if he didn't get that at home, he will say, I don't see why, you know. If he wants to play and he didn't has been programmed already, he says, oh, sorry, let's play, you know. So that's the other part. And if he has been programmed to know, oh, you are always doing something bad, so you need to say sorry.
Mm.
You say sorry all the time. So
Yeah.
you don't mind to say sorry. So I was programmed to say sorry all the time because I was always wrong. So all the time, if someone would come, I would say sorry. But if you come and attack me, then I attack you back and then I don't say sorry. But in all of a situation, if you feel a victim, I had to say sorry. But there are children who the other one has learned from his parents, the child needs to tell you sorry. So
Yeah.
that's how we built up the idea of victim and the idea of being the perpetrator. Because without a victim, there is no perpetrator. So you create in that child that doesn't know light and dark. You tell him, you are the light, you are the victim, and he is the dark, he is the perpetrator.
Yes. My gosh, I feel so bad because I used to work in early years and I've done that many times. Like, crikey.
But we learn that. And that's
Yeah,
the game.
it
So,
is.
of course, we can feel bad about the things, you know, you can feel bad about the fact that you discover now, for example, you think, I was always a victim. I always find myself as a victim. You can't have this realization now and feel bad. Don't fear because it's a game.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, that's the reason why we try to explain that all the things that are happening for a reason. And because it is a game, then it happens. So you would be prepared till 18, and then you can go in the Mario Bros game and begin to find the solution from this victim mentality and this thing and the communication and you know, that's the
Yeah,
idea. So of course we can when we say it's a game, it's not funny, but when you know the definition of the game, you see, okay, that fits exactly on what life is. When you know the definition of victim, I am not a victim, but yeah, if you think that someone has done or said or you know whatever to you, then you are a victim. So there is no other solution. If you think
yeah,
that someone did something to you, you are a victim, and it doesn't matter. But of course, in the game, what did we do? While we were learning as children to be a victim, we learn at the same moment, look how we lost the logic. We learn at the same moment that when you feel a victim, you are less than the other.
yes,
When you
yeah,
feel as a victim, you are less. So what are we going to do? I am not a victim.
yeah. Go defensive. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so you have been programmed from really little to be a victim. From the moment you play with your friends, they
Yeah.
tell you, and then on the same way, they tell you, yeah, but if you are a victim, you are less. So it
Yes.
becomes
Oh,
difficult to accept to be the victim. That's why it's easier to be a victim of a situation which happened and hurt you physically. Because then you can't say it. Because then you don't fear that you are less. You are not less because you choose to be less. You are less because someone did something to you.
to
So then you
you.
can embody the victim mentality.
Wow, yeah, and it doesn't seem so bad. Like if it happens like that, if it's somebody else, well, it doesn't seem so bad to yourself,
Yeah.
your mind.
Being, for
Yeah,
example, someone breaking in your home, you can't say you are the victim of
yeah,
someone breaking in, you know? It's easy. Nobody has a
yeah,
problem to say that because it's a situation which happened and where you can't say, and if someone say, oh, you are victim, wow, you know, you don't feel the hurt because you have a situation which happened and where the name for it is being a victim of breakage, you know,
crime. Yeah.
of a
Mhm,
crime. You are the
mhm.
victim of a crime, and this crime we can say it. But if someone say, "Yeah, I don't like you," and then you say, "Yeah, he say that," or you feel victim. No, I'm not a victim, but he say that, you know. So then you make a difference because it's difficult because it doesn't belong for yourself into the
Yeah.
one that you can accept.
Yeah, gosh, it is. Yeah, and when it's explained like that, it kind of it makes it okay. But because of the programming we have when we're, all this week, like I say, it's a victim.
Yeah,
Initially, before we started talking, I was a bit like, oh, victim. People are going to hear the word victim and be a bit like that. But when it's explained, in the game of life,
yeah,
it kind of makes it okay, doesn't? It makes it
yeah.
deep to deal with.
You know, I remember I was always saying, I am not a victim, I am not a victim. And then I realized, okay, I am not a victim, but still I think that, or still I think that. So I was not a victim on some things, but I was a
Yeah,
victim on other things. So it doesn't mean, when you say that I am a victim of, for example, the accident that happened with my knee, that I am always a victim.
yeah.
Don't be
Just
that I
for
choose
that moment.
for that moment that I choose one moment I am a victim. But if the whole day you speak with me and I speak about the woman and I speak about this one and I speak about Micah and and I didn't learn anything, I cannot tell you at the end, yeah, but I know that I needed to take some rest. So it happened because I
Yeah.
was running and my soul wanted to make me clear, just stop running because everything is happening at the good moment. You don't need to. But I wouldn't have heard that maybe, or maybe he already said it, but I didn't hear it. So it happened this. But at the moment I begin to turn it, I forgot more and more and more and more the other, and I make it about myself. How do I recover from this? What are the positive things that happen in my life now that I have this? So looking at the differences
Hmm.
between what was and what is and what can be. That would be, in fact, the solution,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Definitely. Yeah. I think when something happens, now that I'm not, from before, not at all. I remember many times when, going through a challenging time, and I'd sit and, oh, but this has happened and that's happened to me, and also that's happened and this has happened, and and then you want to repeat it to everybody that comes into you speak to a friend, and you just repeat, and then it like affirms that, yes, oh, poor me, kind of thing. But once you manage to look it up, well, for me, once I've managed to look inside, and I never ever feel that need. I can still have a bad day, still have bad things happen, still. And for that moment, I know, oh, okay, so this, I am, I've got victim mentality here, but I recognize it quickly now,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, and we recognize it because also it helps somehow. I mean, before I was playing the game, I was also recognizing my victim mentality. But being now in the knowledge of it is a game and it happened for me, then it's going way faster. And then
yeah,
it hurts
exactly,
less because it's all about the suffering. Huh? We were speaking about that we came here to suffer, and the end game would be, for example, unconditional love, because from this place you begin to see the game. So there is nothing less to play, huh?
yeah,
And then you just continue in the game. The suffer goes with the victim. So
yes,
if you are not a victim, then you suffer less. So it all goes together. So if you are more a victim, you suffer more. And the more you believe that you are the victim, the more you suffer. So both are in the game to let us have an experience. But
yeah,
we define what is going to be the experience with our own free will. So with the choices that we make. So if I decide that no, he still did something to me that is really bad, it will be this story. That will be my hero's journey. I am a victim in my own hero's journey. And I am not able to take back to come back into the first role in my own journey.
Yeah.
So that's the story. So if you want to be the hero of your journey, that's what the soul wants. He wants you to be the hero of the journey, to experience, to have, and especially with others, because otherwise we wouldn't be many. We are here to experience with each other. Yeah, that's the idea. So if you are able to see it, you are able to change that.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully these words that we're talking about now will trigger some people into maybe thinking a little bit differently when challenging things happen, or
Yeah, I think also it's good, for example, to give some examples, because I can understand that when the people are going to listen to this video now, that people, you think, yeah, it's easy said, but because it's also in the victim mentality. It's just programmed, yeah, but. So if you have that, it's normal. And one of the most important thing is we have learned that we shouldn't feel the victim. Yeah, in the game, we shouldn't feel, we feel guilt and shame if we go there. What would be the solution, you think? If you want to play
to
the
go
game,
there. To go
be
there.
the victim.
Be the victim, yeah, to
Be the
experience.
victim.
Yeah.
So if you think, yeah, he did this to me, you go into the role of the victim. I try to explain that in my book also, for why and how you can do that. But when you go into the role of the victim, you are able to let it go. When you keep on staying in between, you are not able to let it go. And when you keep on thinking that something happened to you, you are not able to let the other one go. So the other one takes the role, the first role in your own journey.
So if you go into it and actually, and be the victim, feel awful, cry, and feel the poor me, and then those feelings, how it feels in your body, and then you can look the other side, or then you can make that choice of, with your free will, that actually I don't want, I've felt this, it's not a nice feeling, so I want to feel a different way about it. So then you can choose.
Yeah, that's in fact, there is your free will is based on your focus. Your focus is based on your perception of the situation. So if you have this situation and you perceive yourself as a victim, your focus is saying, I am a victim, he is a perpetrator, I need to prove that he is, so I need to prove it to myself too. So I'm going to speak to other people, tell the story, how I know it. So the people tell you, oh, you are a victim. So I feel empowered because other people are recognizing that I am also a victim. So I continue. And what is happening then is I continue so much that I'm expecting sorries from the other. Because that's the story when we were a child, the first time. Yeah, he should say sorry to you because he did that to you, That's what we learn. And it's not bad, Of course we should say sorry. I mean, if you come in the middle now, of course we should say sorry. But it's more about the fact that we feel entitled at a point to be sorry based on the story that we have created in our mind. So we believe that you are wrong, so you are wrong, so you need to say sorry. And as long as you don't say sorry, I keep on having this on my heart and I cannot let it go.
Yeah.
So
and actually, how many people do you know at the moment? I mean, I can think of a few different people in my circle of, people that I know and acquaintances who are actually at war with people and not speaking because they are waiting for an apology.
Yeah.
I can't continue, I'm waiting for an apology. So that's it. That's our friendship until I get an apology, and they can't move on from that.
Now, and I can even tell you, most of the people don't want the apology. Because when you are a victim, is a role. So you embody the role, you feel the victim. I can tell you that because I have learned to say a lot of sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when someone is feeling a victim, then I say, wow, sorry that you feel like that. Sorry, it was not my intention to do that. But then you see, yeah, because you did that. I say, yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't want. Yeah, and they continue. They are not able to let go. And then what they do also, because they are already in the victim role. So when you are in the role, you have difficulties. But then they do, yeah, but the way you say it,
Yeah, you didn't mean it.
you didn't mean it.
It wasn't sincere. You didn't mean it. I can tell. So they're just looking for, like you say, they don't really want to hear the sorry because you give
No.
it to them. They just need to feel the
Yeah.
victim still.
They need to stay the victim because otherwise
Yeah.
they don't have a story, because their hero's journey became the story of being the victim.
Yes,
So when you,
absolutely.
even when you say sorry, they are not able to come out completely, because I can tell you, even if you say sorry to someone who cannot walk anymore because you had an accident with him, he still cannot walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he can't spend all his life being angry at the person, but then when the person says sorry, it still doesn't give him back his legs. And that's where the people are losing time, in fact, because they are so busy trying to get the sorry. They don't do the work themselves. They don't look at themselves for, okay, now I'm here. What can I do from here to there? And they are not grieving the old. So that's why you need to
Yeah.
grieve the old, to be the victim. Grieve it. Be the victim at
Yeah.
once. Take it, grieve, and then you can look and go further. And if the person one day is coming and saying sorry, you will hear the sorry. Because
Yeah.
at that moment, you don't need it anymore, but you will see that the other one has seen his own part in the game, that he had also a responsibility in the game. And when he is able to see also his responsibility, he will tell you that he tells it before or after that you begin to take the role out of the victim of you. Doesn't matter. What matters is you. As long as you keep on thinking that it is outside of you that you are able to solve things in your life, it means that you are the victim of external circumstances.
Yeah.
Make it internal, and then you have the power. You take the control back about your mind, about your body. You don't give the control to others, saying,
Yeah.
till you say sorry, I will not feel good. That's
Yeah.
giving your control, the control over your emotion and over yourself to someone else who did something, okay? But you give him control. When you say, you did that, but I take the control back now. I'm not a
Yeah.
victim. It happened for me. It is a game. What can I learn from this? What was the lesson? When you begin to ask yourself, why did it happen? In fact, what did I attracted? So when you go even further, yeah, what did I manifested? What were my thoughts? So you can go even further in that. But already the beginning is asking yourself, do you want to take the control back about your life, over your life, or do you still want someone else to have it? And that's your own game. That's your own journey. The choice
Yeah.
is yours. So if you
Yeah.
still want to feel a victim at the end of this video, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Absolutely.
not
Yeah.
about changing. It's only about explaining what is the role of the victim, that we have learned it since we are children. So we don't know, because it's so that we
Ingrained.
don't
Yeah.
know, and that we don't accept to be in the circumstances that are not physical, so that you cannot see back.
Yeah, yeah, and I
And
think it's yeah, I think if there are people out there that are thinking, oh, actually, this sounds quite intriguing to try and think like this. Believe that it's not, it's taken a long time of everything on on both our healing journeys to actually start to think like this. And I know sometimes we talk, oh yeah, it's just the game of life. You can look at it this way, look at it this way, but it's not. It's because I'm just reminding people that actually it's because we've been through, the heat. So now we can talk about it easier and say, okay, this happened, for me. It's easy to say when things happen now, I can straight away pretty much go, okay, right, this is really rubbish, but it's happened for me. So let's look at the reason. But it wasn't like that in the start. It hasn't always been like that from the start.
no.
It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of tears, you know, a lot of victim mentality, and then just gradually. But unless you try something, unless you start to, you know, a lady that I once worked with, she always used to say, whenever something happens, just pause and say the words. And I always used to say it in the beginning, what's right with this that I'm not getting?
Yeah.
You know, and then I pause and I kind of ingrain those words, and
sometimes you have one quote who can help you, you know, to go through, and sometimes you need to speak with people. There are techniques, I mean, to go into the victim role. You can go into it, you can choose to do into it, you can work on the anger. There are many steps that you can do, but the first step is to accept. Because if you don't accept that you are a victim, you are not able, if you don't see it, you cannot heal it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Acceptance is the biggest thing with anything. When you accept it, you can then start that line or something. But I think we are running out of time. So as always, if anybody's got any comments or any questions or any statements or anything at all, you can always get in touch and ask and pick brains and
especially on this thema. If you have things to say, don't hesitate, because we don't say that it's nice or it's easy. We just say this is how you can play it, and this is how it has been built into life for us. And now you have the elements, and of course you still can't doubt, and you still can ask us, and we will be really happy to give you some answers, because that's why we are here. That's why we are doing this, to share this knowledge with other people, so we can all play together the game of life.
Yes. Very exciting. We just both worn blue today, Ketty.
Yeah,
it's a blue kind of day.
Yeah, we should look for what is the meaning of this blue with the victim mentality, with the fundament of
I'm
the
sure
game.
there's a link.
Yeah, sure.
There's a link somewhere. Well, anyway, until next time, then have a lovely day, everybody, and we hope we've managed to explain a bit more of this game of life that we're playing.
And follow us, and don't forget to follow us and to share also the videos with others, so that many more people are able to play with us and with you too. So see you next time.
Take care. Bye.